Hey, it's me, Katie, and I've stepped into thousands of homes over the course of my career. And I've seen homes that sit and sit and sit on the market. And I know exactly why that happens. I'm excited about this episode because this one's fun for me. I love doing this. This is going to be a new series for us. Help, I can't get my home sold, right? If you are here because you can't get your home sold, this is the place to be because you are going to see a real life example of a home that's been on the market for over a year. Now, if you have not started the process of selling, I am so glad you're here because I want to prepare you. I do not want you to be in pain about why your home might not sell. Honestly, selling is not rocket science. You just need to prepare. So if you are here and you are wondering, gosh, why is my house not selling? I've got everything you need right here. Okay, so the first home I'm going to show you has been on the market for over 900 days. Yes, 900 days. Do you say, how is that possible? I've seen a lot of homes like that. So I thought this would be a great example to show you and talk about why has this home been on the market for so long. So this home started on the market in February of 2022. They listed the house at $584,500, and then they tried to relist it in July of 2023. The home has kind of gone up and down in price. So then they reduced to 608, and then they sort of kind of have been hanging around the market at 599, 594.5, and now they're currently at the market at 584.5. So when I'm looking at a house that has been on the market a long time, I can tell you without a doubt, I've said this 100 times, is price is always too high. But really, let's kind of take that out and figure out what the price of this home should actually be. And let's look at some of the pictures so that I can show you kind of what I like about them and what I don't like about them, because the pictures aren't really that bad. So let's take a look. So the first thing I want to show you is that this is a nice photo. The quality is pretty good, but you can see that the driveway does not look very good. And there are the garbage cans on the left side of the house. In addition, it looks like there's just a lot of stuff out front. It's a little messy on the right side of the house as well. So you can see it just doesn't look fresh. There's some stains in the driveway. Now that looks more like a deferred maintenance thing that I talk about. But realistically, this is a pretty good picture on the outside. Now, when you walk inside, it does have some nice cherry floors. And the thing about cherry is some people don't love the floors because they do fade over time. In addition, they pull a little warm. They pull a little red. So a lot of people don't love cherry floors. So I can see that maybe be an issue, but people still love wood floors. So I don't know if that would be an issue. But you can see that the colors in this house are pretty dramatic. You have the orange and you have the green. And then you also have this yellow color in there as well. So you've got a lot of colors going on. So when I talk about paint colors, when somebody's buying a house and the paint colors don't look like it would match their furniture, they're going to have to spend money to go ahead and repaint the house. And that is more of an expense for a buyer, which they just don't want to do. And I know many people talk about how, well, we don't know what the buyers are going to want for their colors. That's true. But any of the colors that I recommend to you are good neutral colors, the good neutral colors that will go with pretty much anybody's furniture. So I want you to think about what colors are you going to paint that. As everybody knows, I have my paint colors in my seller's playbook, which is below. The link is below. Oh my gosh, my seller's playbook is updated. It's refined. I've got a lot of great information in there. 5 pillars about what you need to do in order to get your home ready to sell. But in that seller's playbook are the paint colors that I recommend when you're going to sell your home. Now, remember, I'm not a decorator. I'm an agent, but I'm telling you what looks good in pictures. And as you can obviously see, this picture with the orange and the green just doesn't look good. Somebody's going to look at that and think, oh, I have to paint the whole house. So those colors are my seller playbook. Go ahead and download the link below. So coming back to this house, you can see the quality of these cabinets are probably pretty good. And they do have stainless steel, which I think is nice. That looks really, really solid as well. The light fixtures look pretty solid too. I mean, this overall looks like a decent kitchen. The one thing about this kitchen that I'm kind of questioning myself on and thinking, what is that about? Is this gigantic refrigerator that's sticking out. So most refrigerators, if you want them to fit inside, they need to be counter depth. This is not counter depth. This type of refrigerator is protruding way, way out from the rest of the kitchen. Now, I don't know if that's how the kitchen was designed. I would find it hard to believe that it was designed like that. Something else must be going on there. So that's just a little odd because you're going to have that space right next to the refrigerator on the left that's going to be kind of trapped in there. So that makes this a bit of an awkward layout in there, but not really a reason why somebody wouldn't buy this home. Now, again, when you're looking at this room, it truly is just a room with hardwood floors, but that orange color and the lights above are really kind of distracting along with the curtains. homes. Let's pretend they painted that wall a neutral color, or even if it was the color of kind of that neutrally greenish color, and they took down the drapes and they capped the light. I know there's not another light ceiling source in there, but you could cap that light and then get some furniture that looks a little trendy. This whole room will change the way it looks. And remember, we're talking that your first showing is online and buyers are faked out all of the time. And I get a lot of buyers who come to my channel and they think that, they're telling me what buyers want. And it's funny because I say, well, this is a channel for sellers. So go to the channel for buyers and you can talk about it then. I know what buyers want. I am very clear on what they want as far as when they're looking to buy a home. Now, what buyers want when they're moving in is going to be totally, totally different. So no hate from the buyers out there who say you love this and you want it like this. Nuh-uh. We're talking about selling your home. And so just neutralizing this room and bringing in some staged furniture and taking down those drapes would make a huge difference in how this shows. Again, so this orange color is kind of all over the house. And when you're looking at pictures online, and when I look at pictures, I've seen hundreds of thousands of pictures of homes online. That's no joke. When I'm starting to look at a listing and I'm going through, the 50 pictures and every room is like this, like orange paint, orange paint, orange paint. You're like, oh no, this is going to be a lot of work to get the house into a neutral form. And so some people will actually just stop looking and they'll move right on. So the first reason this house is not sold is because it's not a neutral palette, and people are seeing that they need to go in and change things in the house that they're going to want to do for themselves when they move in. Very, very few people are going to be okay with that bright orange color in their home. I'm an agent. I'm not a decorator. If you love this color in your home and it matches your furniture, go for it, but not when you're selling your home. So this picture of the bedroom is really pretty good. It's really, really close. What I would do is I would take down that pink and white drape thing. You could really leave up the other drapes. That would be okay because they are kind of neutral, but this bedroom color is neutral. And so when you look at this picture versus all the other ones that you've seen, it looks kind of like a different home. So that's the benefit of sort of staging your house and faking it for the buyers. Now, again, this bathroom is not terrible. It is a little more neutral. It is a little warm, but I will say is that you can see that there is some deferred maintenance here. And the deferred maintenance is in this cabinet. It looks kind of beat up. And so I can see that from pictures. Okay. I can also see that this mirror looks kind of beat up here as well. And so those are the little tiny tells that make me think, if that's not super clean, if that doesn't look great, what else are things in the house that aren't looking that great? So this is my tell on somebody who's seen hundreds of thousands of pictures, is I can see those little tiny details. Now, buyers might not see that until they get into the house. They may not know that. I can see it and they might get in and say, "Ooh, you know what? While this bathroom looks okay, I really feel like it does need to be redone because it's just not in great shape." Hey, I know many of you are like, where in the world do I start with an agent? And I have got you covered. I have resources of thousands of agents across the country who I am connecting with and finding out. I know exactly what makes a great agent great, and I can find you that agent. So go ahead, fill out the form below, and I'm going to work personally on that referral for you for an agent in your local area who is great, who follows a lot of what I am saying here. So go ahead, fill out the form today. Again, this room is not bad. I probably would take down the colored drapes and maybe put in a couple of nightstands and maybe replace that light with something a little more, a little more trendy, a little more modern. And this room will take on a whole new look. So now here's the master bedroom. It's not that bad, really. The bed looks okay. I like to have more pillows and more fluffiness and make it look a little bit more cozy. You want your bedroom to feel kind of like a hotel when people are coming in and looking at it. So you want them to look at your bedroom like it's a place they want to be, not like, ooh, we're invading somebody else's bedroom and this is kind of gross. So you want to make sure that your bedding looks really fresh. This looks okay, not terrible. That color is okay. That's not terrible either. This bathroom, again, is okay. Somebody could definitely live with that. It's not terrible at all. Again, you're seeing a lot of warmth in this picture, a lot of the colors going on that people are probably going to say, oh, no. Now, this is an odd picture. This is not a picture I would actually show in the house. And the reason why is because I cannot understand that piece of furniture sitting literally next to the toilet. This picture, there is zero reason for this actually to be in the MLS pictures. There's no reason whatsoever. This is fine. Those are really red, but it's fine. Those are nice new washer and dryers. So it's That's okay. This picture absolutely should not be in the MLS. And the reason is that it does nothing other than document the space. And your first showings are online. And so when you're going through the pictures and there's something that just documents the space, it's about marketing. It's about bringing people into the home. This doesn't quite do it. It's just documenting. Now, buyers are going to say they want every single picture so they can determine whether or not they want to come into the house. And yes, that's absolutely true. But remember, my channel is for sellers. And as a seller, you do not want to document every single room. It's not necessary. And your goal is to bring people into the house. So if you're showing them a bathroom that's really bad, that needs to be completely replaced, and maybe it's just the powder room, there's no reason to show it. Okay, buyers, go ahead, start with a hate, put the comments below. I'm sure you're going to say, but we want to see all that. I know you do, but I want to get people into the home, and your first showing is online. The other thing is, while this home has all this stuff in it, it's probably not very good to show it like that either. I don't have a problem with having stuff, okay? If you have a basement like this, what I would highly suggest is that they take everything and stack it and put it into nice, neat piles, stackable boxes, whatever it is. You push it all against one wall, and that way, if you were to take this picture, you're going to have a full open space that people can see. Right now, I'm guessing when people come downstairs and they see this, they're like, holy cow, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff they have. That's really what happens. And then you're just overwhelmed. And then you can't see the walls. You can't see the construction. You can't see anything in the house other than, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff they have. Why do they have so much stuff? Why is it all thrown in the basement? I mean, are they not taking care of their house? So that's what you need to think about. If you've got a lot of stuff in a location, like a garage or like a basement, stack it up nice and neat, put it against the wall, make it look clean, and make it look organized. So this backyard picture, pretty good, decent, fine. Like I said, the quality of these photos is actually quite good. So while the sellers may think it's the agent's fault, maybe, the photos look good. An agent's job is to bring people into the home. So if you're getting showings, the marketing is working. So I'm going to guess that they have gotten quite a few showings over the course of years. But now I want to go into the price. And let's talk about the price of this home. Is this the right price in this market? Are there homes that have sold that would compare to this? Will this home appraise when it goes under contract with a mortgage? Let me go into that right now. Okay, so I pulled all of the homes that are sold in this school district. If I'm talking to you about how do you price your home, that's the number one thing I want you to do is I want you to find homes literally just in your grade school district, your junior high, if you don't have enough homes in that grade school district. The reason why is because most people kind of start their search with schools. Not everybody, but a lot of people are thinking about what schools they want their kids to go to. And if somebody has bought a home in the school district that you are in, there's a good chance that that is a good comparable. I don't like to compare homes that are just in the town because it may be a different school district. It may be across a border from something else. So you really need to make sure, what is that small, tight area that you can look in? So for this home, I chose the school district. In the last 12 months in the school district with this home in it, there have been 602 homes listed or sold. Now that's a fair amount. I mean, that's quite a bit. I want to show you where this home actually lands in that whole 602 homes. So in the last 12 months, the highest price home that has sold has been 620. Now we've got this house listed at 584,500. So that's not much different. So let's go ahead and look at the home that sold that was 620. So they don't even have a picture. It's brand new construction. So somebody sold a brand new construction home for 620. Now this house is priced at 584. So when somebody's looking at those two homes, which one are they going to pick? Most likely, if it's in the same school district and the locations are somewhat comparable, they're going to go with the home that's a little more updated. Now, there was a home that sold for $595, and I want to show that home to you. Now we're about $10,000 more than our house that we're trying to price out. So as you can see, this house is pretty much brand new. It's only about a year old, and it's new. I mean, it's very, very hard to compare the other house that needs all that work with this house. Now you can say, well, that house has more square footage, or maybe it's in a little bit better location. But when an appraiser comes in, and you have to get an appraiser if your buyer is getting a mortgage. If your buyer is getting a mortgage, your house needs to appraise. Now an appraiser is going to come in and say, now this house is way better than the other house. I cannot make these two the same appraisal number, and then your deal will fall through. So part of the problem with, even if this house that we're talking about goes under contract, there's a good chance it will not appraise and the deal will fall through. The other thing I want to tell tell you is homes that are active on the market are not your comps. An appraiser will not use comps of homes that have not sold yet. So you're going to tell me that, well, the house down the street listed for $50,000 more. We can too. An appraiser is not going to use that. They will use it to just kind of look, but they won't use that. That's not how an appraiser looks at homes for appraisals. They're going to look at the closed homes. So the next option for an appraisal in this area is a home that sold for $580. So let's take a look. So this home sold for $580 in the same school district. And you can see it does have the warmth of the home, right? So it is sort of similar to that. It does have the same colors in there, but the colors and the paint is neutral. So this looks more like a base that somebody could work with rather than the other house. Now, this house clearly is an appraisal comp for the one that we're looking at, but appraisers will really only look at the last 3 to 6 months when it comes to selling a home. So the problem with this house is that it sold over 6 months ago. So the market changes. So while this was a comp, it's really no longer a comp. And so yes, that one was on the market, but it was only on the market for 27 days. And the longer you're on the market, the more people think there's something wrong with the home. That's why you need to be very active with your price. If you are too high, you need to be pricing it under the market. You need to be pricing it so that people think it's a bargain rather than being like, yeah, I don't know, there's something wrong with it. This house, while it is a comp, the other one has been on the market way too long to make this a comp anymore. So one thing I didn't talk about was the square footage. And that is a big deciding factor on homes and what they're worth. So I'm going to show you a comp that is about 100 square feet less than the one we're talking about. Now, this home was built in 2016 also, so it's pretty similar. It's got a 3-car garage. And when you look inside at the condition, it just looks more like what buyers are looking for. This sold for $565 in 12 days. And you can really see the difference in how this looks. So you can see that it's neutral. The colors are very neutral. It looks a little trendier. It looks like they have very cute furniture, maybe like Pottery Barn or Restoration Hardware. That makes a real big difference. And some sellers don't think it does, but it absolutely does. Their kitchen is a little bit newer because the house is newer. So even this home, which is newer, is going to have a hard time appraising. So when I'm looking for comps, I try and go a little bit lower, and I just try to see if there's something at a really low point that is a comp that an appraiser might pick up. Now, this house is priced at $548, and you can see that the quality of the pictures is not great, but what you are going to see on the inside is it's pretty similar to our other property. It does have sort of the warmth. It's not in fantastic condition. It's about the same age as the house we're talking about, except the kitchen is newer. So this house sold for $548, and it also took a very, very long time to sell, but it closed almost a year ago. So this is a different market. So when you're really looking at something like this, you have to say it's got to go lower. So I did find a comp that I think is probably pretty good. I think you're going to agree with me on this. This house closed for $515, and it was only on the market for 4 days. And you can see it looks similar to the house that I showed you before. So you can see it looks warm. It pulls warm. It looks a little bit dated, but the condition looks pretty good. There's not a lot going on in here, but it does look like somebody could come in and do this work. This kitchen is not as high quality as the other one, but it doesn't have that weird refrigerator that I talked about. Now, the appliances are also white, which does seem like it's a little dated, but the kitchen is livable. It does look, like I said, kind of similar, but what they did is they listed at $549, and they obviously got an offer, and they realized that the market was telling them that they needed to take this offer at $515. This layout is pretty much the same as the other house, looks very similar. It's hard to discount this as a comp, and this sold for $515. So when you're looking at a house like this that is a comp, you can't discount it. The reality is the house that we were looking at, the reason it hasn't sold is because of the pictures, the way it looks as far as the condition is concerned, and ultimately it's always the price. So that price needs to drastically come down. In fact, in order to be under the market, I would price that house at $500. The reason I price it at $500 is because clearly at $500, it is a steal, right? It's a steal at $500. People are going to come and say, oh, wow, this house is fantastic for $500. They're going to come in and they're going to bid it up. Let's pretend they do a reduction to $549. People are going to still say, you know, it's still overpriced based on some of these comps. I still don't think it's going to appraise. And then you're going to have to keep reducing the house. Now, there is a lot to understand when you're going to sell a home. Now, if you are on this video because you are in stress, like you're in trauma because you can't sell your house, certainly reach out to me. However, who I'm talking to are people who are 2, 5, 10 years away from selling. I don't want you to make a lot of mistakes. I want you to really maintain your house. I want you to fix your maintenance. When I walk into homes and I see homes like this, it's very hard for me to say to a seller right out of the gate, like, oh my gosh, you are years behind in getting your home ready. But you really need to be putting together a strategy if you're thinking about selling. To that end, I've told you about my seller's playbook. It is the link below. I've had thousands and thousands of people download this playbook and have said it is life-changing, because what it's going to do is give you the guidelines for what you need to do to get your home ready to sell, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years away. Now, if you are in trauma right now because you can't sell your house, of course, you can reach out to me, and more than happy to kind of help you out, give you a little bit of guidance. But I want you to think about it. I don't want you to be in trauma. People who are watching this, I don't want you to be in trauma. I want you to think about this before you go to sell. I want you to think about this years before you go to sell, because if you go to sell and your home is priced too high or your condition is not good, I promise you, you will be in trauma. It is no joke. I've seen it. I've seen crying. I've seen terrible things happen with sellers who can't get their homes sold. So go ahead, make sure you download that playbook, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I don't want you to miss anything I have coming up.